Brothers and sisters in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It's a great privilege to be here, to be celebrating the birth of our Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Right now the whole world is celebrating the birth of our beloved Prophet. And we are blessed to be celebrating the birth here today in Amsterdam, in Masjid Taibah.
نعرة تكبير نعرة رسالة علماء أهل السنة الإسلام.
One of the fundamental requirements for Muslims is that we believe in Allah as the Almighty Powerful, and we believe in the Prophet as his Prophet. If we don't believe in Allah and if we don't believe in the Prophet, then we're not a Muslim. We have to believe in Allah. But our belief has to go beyond symbolism. When we say that we believe in Allah, then we have to believe in His authority. We have to believe in His mind. We have to believe in Allahu Akbar, which is what we say every day in our prayers, in our azan. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, that Allah is the greatest. Allah is the greatest. His might is greater than all the kings of this world. His might is greater than all the dictators of the world. That His power is above all the problems that exist in this world. That it is only Allahu Akbar and the belief in Allahu Akbar that can solve the problems of the world. We have to have the belief in His authority. We have to have belief in His power. Then we can become Muslim. We can't just say we believe in Allah. We have to believe in His authority as well. Similarly, we have to believe in His Prophet, Sayyidina Rasulullah. But we don't just believe that He is the Prophet, we also have to believe in His authority and in His power, in His status. If anybody who ignores that, then will be the same as a person who ignores, who believes in Allah but doesn't believe in His authority. Then that person will not be Muslim. So alhamdulillah, we're blessed to be believing in the authority and status of the Holy Prophet Sayyidina Rasulullah that we're celebrating his birth here today. We're blessed with so many things. Everything that we have before us is the blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If we look around us, in our homes, outside, our own body, everything we have is a blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Our whole body is an immense blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Our hands are blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Our eyes are blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Our feet are blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And a grateful person is he who gives thanks to that blessing. The question I want to ask is whether we give thanks to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for all the blessings that He's given us, all the privileges that we enjoy, all the luxuries that we enjoy daily. Because if we're not giving thanks to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then we're not doing justice of believing in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, of our Creator, of believing and saying Allahu Akbar every day if we're not giving thanks. This is one of the prerequisites of being a Muslim, is that we have belief, but at the same time we give thanks to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for all the privileges, for all the blessings. How many of us whose hands are used for the wrong purposes every day? How many of us are here whose feet are used for the wrong whose ears hear the worst things, whose tongue speak the worst things. If we're doing that, then we are misusing the blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because it is these blessings that on the day of judgment will be giving evidence against us. The blessings that we take for granted, our hands we take for granted, our eyes we take for granted, we are proud of our own body and we say that we are so handsome, we are so strong, we go around walking in the streets outside in vanity. Oh, how handsome we are, how beautiful we are, how wonderful we are, how powerful we are, how strong we are. We express our vanity in that sense. But let me tell you that the whole body that we are so in vain of, the whole body that is been blessed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it is this body that we take for granted will be giving evidence against us on the day of judgment. Every piece of our bone will be giving evidence against us on the day of judgment. And we have to be ready for that. We will be questioned on the day of judgment. We will be saying, Lema shahidtum alayna, why is it that you are giving evidence against us? And they will say that we are giving evidence against you because Allah has commanded. And it's not just our body that will be giving evidence against us, but the whole earth will be giving evidence against us. Whatever we've done on this planet, on this earth, will be giving evidence against us on the day of judgment. Are we ready for that? The Holy Quran says, يَوْمَئِذٍ تُحَدِّثُ أَخْبَارَهَا. The whole world, the whole earth, Allah will give the command to the whole earth. يَوْمَئِذٍ تُحَدِّثُ أَخْبَارَهَا. The whole earth will be put together to give evidence against them. Everything we've done on this earth, the way we walk, the way we talk, the way we behave, everything's been recorded, and everything by the command of Allah will give evidence against us. Let me give you an example of a woman, of a mother on the day of judgment. She will be weighed with her good deeds and bad deeds. Her scales, in terms of her bad deeds, are just a little bit higher. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's mercy says, O servant of mine, you are lacking one good deed. One good deed you are lacking. If you find one good deed, then you can go to Jannah. She's lacking one good deed. I just want you to pay attention here. She's lacking one good deed. The day of judgment, when everybody is saying nafsi, nafsi, that is the day of judgment when she needs one good deed to go to Jannah. And she sees her son and she goes to her son and says, oh my son, my assessment has been done. I've just been weighed. And I just need one good deed to go to Jannah. Oh my son, give me one of your good deeds so that I can go to Jannah. And the son will reply, oh my mother, I cannot help you today. The mother will cry and say, oh my son, I've carried you in my stomach, in my tummy for 9 months. Oh my son, the pain of the labor when I gave you birth. Oh my son, I bore the pain. For the sake of the pain, give me one good deed so that I can go to Jannah. And the son will say, oh my mother, I cannot help you today. And the mother will say again, my son, I stayed hungry but I gave you food. I helped you to walk, I taught you to walk. For the love of your mother, oh my son, I am going to be put in hell. Give me just one of your good deeds. And the son will say, oh my mother, on this day I can't help you. Nobody can help you on this day except one person. And that person is our beloved Prophet ﷺ, whose day we're celebrating today. He is Sayyidina Rasulullah. That is that great prophet whose day we're celebrating today. That great prophet whose day we're celebrating today. And the Holy Quran says, وَإِذْ ظَلَمُوا أَنفُسَهُمْ جَاءُوكَ فَاسْتَغْفِرُوا اللَّهَ وَاسْتَغْفَرَ لَهُمْ رَسُولُهُ لَوَجَدُوا اللَّهَ تَوَّابًا رَحِيمًا. That when you have done zulm, when you have committed wrongs on your life, ask Allah for forgiveness and ask your Prophet for forgiveness. And if the Prophet forgives, then you'll find Allah to be forgiving as well. And another place our Prophet ﷺ says that on the day of judgment, I will be the first to give intercession. I will be the first to give shafa'at. And I will be my shafa'at will be the first to be accepted. So we're celebrating the birth of that great Prophet whose shafa'at we look forward to on the day of judgment. But let me tell you, the celebration that we're doing here today is not going to get us to Jannah just if we celebrate. It's not just a mere celebration of the birth of that great Prophet that is going to get us to Jannah. It is by following his life and teaching that we learn when we come to celebrate the Milad of the Prophet, we learn that we don't just celebrate, but we follow his teachings. We follow his teachings. And let me tell you, with few things that I don't have time to go and elaborate on, but few things I want to leave with you. Our Prophet ﷺ came to this world. He was the greatest of all the prophets. He was greater than all the worlds. If you look at what our Prophet ﷺ says, the hadith is, he says, أَنَا أَكْرَمُ أَوَّلِينَ وَالْآخِرِينَ عَلَى اللَّهِ وَلَا فَخْرٍ. That I am the most honorable of the earliest and the latest. And there's no pride when I say that. That he's the most honorable of all the prophets. He's the greatest of all the prophets. He had the mu'jizah that he wanted, that he could have prayed to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the whole world would have become Muslim. He had the authority that if he wanted, then his people would not have been suffered. If he wanted, the children would not have starved. But he starved himself. He was tortured and he abused. And he took that torture. He took that abuse. He was called all sorts of names. He was tortured and he was laughed at. He was spat at. People abused him. People beat him up. People stoned him. But he took all that so that he can teach his ummah that tomorrow when you're abused, then you have to believe in Allahu Akbar. Tomorrow when you're abused and when people call you names, you have to believe in Allahu Akbar. Your belief is not shaken. And if your belief is not shaken, then you will go to Jannah. That tomorrow when all the luxuries are before you, you still have to believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Tomorrow when you have all the wealth, your belief and your iman is not shaken. You have to true belief in the teachings of Prophet ﷺ, you will go to Jannah. This is what he came to teach. That when people are accusing you, when people are beating you up, when people are taking you to the wrong path, then you do not take that path, but you look at the teachings and sunnah of Prophet ﷺ. You know, he's distributing wealth after a battle, and Hazrat Fatima radiallahu anha comes to him, and she stands. She doesn't have the audacity, she doesn't have the strength, she doesn't have the disrespect to speak. Our Prophet notices her and says, "Oh Fatima, why are you here?" And she says that Hazrat Ali radiallahu anhu has sent me to show you my hands. That if you look at my hands are full of scars. My hands are full of scars because of the work I do. And that Hazrat Ali radiallahu anhu said that show your hands to your father, maybe he'll give you something, maybe he'll give you a home help who can help you at home. And the Holy Prophet ﷺ said, "Oh Fatima, the needs of the orphans of the Battle of Badr is not finished, is not completed. I can't give you anything today. Oh Fatima, I cannot give you because the needs of the orphans of Battle of Badr has not been completed." He is distributing the whole world to everyone, given. This is the example of Rasulullah whose day we're celebrating, and this is the example that we need to live by if you want to go to Jannah. And believe me, if we follow his example, and that is what we're here to learn on this day of Eid Milaad Nabi in Masjid Taibah, that we learn and implement his life and his example, then his shafaat will guarantee for us. His shafaat is guaranteed. He will give us intercession, and we will be true representative of Sayyidina Rasulullah, and we will go to Jannah. Assalamu alaikum.